Welcome to my weekly Monday night live chat. Okay, let's see who's in the house. I know I already have some moderators in the house. Pulling up the chat. Let's turn off the volume. And I know Grandma McGrose is here. Thank you so much. We also have Karen Witherspoon, Mike's Chaotic Gardening, Brenda Allen, Chime Moss Farm, Bobby Wilson, and I appreciate Grandma McGrose telling everybody to please hit that like button. Okay, we ready to rock and roll. I'm sitting in my comfortable easy chair, and I've got me some pineapple bubbly to drink. It's just pineapple flavoring, natural flavoring, and what do you call it? C2O, little oxygen, give it a little bubbly flavor. Okay. Garden Master 242 is in the house. Thank you for being here. Cassandra South Fulton Garden is in the house. And I thank you very much. Okay, we're going to start off today by just reviewing some cold crops that would be good for you to start in your garden. And it's a little tricky because in the video that I will release tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to show you the update on my peak pellets and how they're doing, the seedlings. Hi, Andale. And how they keep drying out. Because I know we're supposed to be going into fall weather, but contrary to popular belief, it's still hot here. I think the high was 93. That's not real hot, but it is pretty warm for cool crops. Okay? So I had to pot up them from the pea pellets sooner than I would normally do, because usually I would start them in the greenhouse. But since I moved, I'm not starting them in the greenhouse. I'm starting them directly outside. Okay, so we got some more people in the house I need to speak to. Miss Kia Parks, my internet daughter. Tia's Backyard is here. At Home with Cherie is in the house. Spoke to Andale. Growing with Hudson is here. And again, I want to remind you, if you would please hit that like button, it would help. You guys know I changed my name, and it's going to take a little while for, I don't know how to say this, everybody to know it's me, Gardening and Pearls with Lady Cheryl. And I'm told that a lot of people say they don't get the notifications, and so I'm hoping that that will soon take care of itself. Susie Polidor is here. Thank you so much. Okay, so I want to talk just a little bit about those cold weather crops, and then I'm going to move on to part 2 of my subject, and that is based upon a lot of emails that I received about the Texas Red Star Hibiscus. Okay? So just very quickly, I want to remind you guys that you have 3 types of or classifications of freezing temperatures. A light freeze is between 29 degrees and 32 degrees, and your little tender plants can be killed with that temperature. A moderate freeze is between 25 degrees and 28 degrees Fahrenheit. for my subscribers that don't uh, track or monitor the weather through Fahrenheit. I think they do it through Celsius. You can convert that easily. And I can just tell you real quickly, the light freeze will be 1.7 to 0 Celsius and 3.9 to 2.2 Celsius for a moderate freeze. And for a severe freeze is 24 degrees to 24 degrees or lower. That's considered a real hard or severe freeze, and that is a negative 4.4 Celsius. So that's when you can really get the very harsh damage to your plants. Now, I gave you guys, again, I'm reviewing this because I'm getting a lot of questions about it. Check with the almanac.com and you can get an idea of what your first frost date will be like and how many days you have to grow. It's not 100% accurate because we know that Mother Nature can throw a curveball, but it's been pretty close in my opinion. Okay? Farmer's Almanac. The other thing I want to go over again is the crops that will freeze with certain temperatures. For example, some of you all are like me, and I see some other people in the chat are in my vicinity in Texas. We have a longer growing season, so it's good for you to know the kill temperatures of some of the plants that you still have from summer. And I know you all are transitioning into your fall gardens because I've been watching a lot of videos and I'm just excited to see everybody starting seeds and some people buying starts. Whatever you have to do it. Get it in the ground, get it in your containers, get it going, shade it if it's still hot like where I live. But by my garden, the new garden in containers, I know how I've been watching and observing right off this window how the sun hits at certain times of the day. So I'm fortunate enough that I can pick up my little containers and move them. Yeah, so these things that you need to be wary of are artichoke. If it's going to be below 32 degrees or 31 degrees, you need to bring it in, cover it, or harvest it. And that goes for everything that I'm getting ready to mention again. And I'm going in alphabetical order. If you're new to my channel, you can pick up this chart on my community board. I took it right off of almanac.com. Asparagus, 30 degrees. Beans, 31. Excuse me. Beets. So a lot of us are growing beets or just starting our seeds for our beets. So you know if it's going to get below 31 degrees, you need to cover them up. Now, the beet roots can take a little lower temperature, but a lot of us eat the leafy part of the beets because it's in the family with Swiss chard and it's very tasty. So the tops can't take lower than 31, but the roots can take down to 29. And this is all Fahrenheit. Broccoli, 29. Cabbage, 26. Carrots, 28. Cauliflower, 27. Celery, 31. Cucumbers, 30. Kale, 27. Cucumbers, 30. Kale, 27. Okra, 29 degrees. It is a very heat-tolerant plant, but it can take a little cold, too. Peas, 28. Potato tubers, 28. Pumpkins, 31. And sweet potatoes. I mentioned potatoes, but I don't want you to think that you can keep your sweet potatoes down there or outside to 28 degrees. You must harvest your sweet potatoes before 32, or they will be destroyed. Sweet corn, 32. Tomatoes, 32. Watermelon, 32. Winter squash, 30. Summer squash, 31. Spinach, 30. Radish, 30 degrees. Pumpkins, 31. And I mentioned potatoes. Okay? All right. So far, I can grow most of these until January. How exciting. Very good, somebody is saying. Okay. So now, I want to bring a couple things to your attention that I didn't bring last week because it's just too much information for me to try to cover it all. I want to remind you that you can use frost frost cloth 6 mil greenhouse plastic to protect your plants. You can use C9 or C7 Christmas tree lights, not the little LEDs, but the big bulbs, the Christmas decoration lights. You could put that around your garden beds, your trees, or your containers, and that will warm it up, especially if you cover with what I said, a frost cloth or 6 mil greenhouse plastic. Make sure that your greenhouse plastic does not come in contact with your leaves or your branches because they will damage them. And you can also use sheets and burlap. Burlap used to be real cheap, but it's kind of expensive now. So you can go to the thrift store and see if you can find some old sheets. You know, whatever you do, just don't let the plastic come in direct contact with your greens and your leaves because it will damage it. Okay, so you can extend your season for a longer time if you take into consideration some of the things that I told you. Hey Cheryl Faulkner, another thing that I want to share with you is this. I mentioned the hoop houses and I put it on the community board. How you could take the steel pipes, trying to think what they're called, and I'm going to do a video on it, and somebody probably will do a video on it, and if that's the case, then I'm still going to do it and show you what I do. And I take the galvanized steel posts, they're a little small, they come in like a 12 inches, 18 inches, about a inch diameter, and you can stick that into the ground or in your container, and then I take PVC pipe and bend it over, and then I clip my plastic to the garden bed or the grow boxes or the elevated raised garden bed. Okay, so you can extend your season much longer than you think. And if you have a greenhouse, which, you know, I've got a lot of videos on how I heated my greenhouse, how I put extra plastic inside and outside the greenhouse to extend the season, how I use little small electric heaters, rocket stoves, vintage lamps that had a paraffin in it. I won't be doing that since I moved to this location. Okay, so I'm going to strictly share how you can grow food in containers without a greenhouse this year. I'm smiling because I'm excited about it, because it's going to be going back to what I did prior to me getting greenhouses. Okay? All right. Okay, so let me go into the chat and see what's happening. I know a lot of people are speaking to each other. And I saw a few more people come in. I'm pulling the chat back up again. Unfortunately, when I minimize it, it goes away. And I'm going to give a lot of seeds away tonight. And you must live within the United States and its territories in order for me to mail you those seeds, okay? All right, so we got Maria Graham is here. Bambi with Arthur Butler is here. I spoke to Cheryl Faulkner. Barb Brownlee is here. And Living Miracle Homestead, that's my friend Kathy, is in the house. Miss B. Washington is in the house. She was in our Make Your Own Product Zoom class yesterday. Cotham Creations is here. And I think I saw My Renaissance Grandmother earlier. If I haven't spoken to you, Angela's Canvas Delight is here. If I missed anybody, I know my moderators will have opportunity to speak to you. The class yesterday went very well. The ladies are going to be very successful in what they're doing because they're very serious about making natural products. Some of them are going to do it for their family. Some of them are going to do it as a small business or another part of their business. And I feel real confident that they receive the information very well and that they're going to do great. That leads me to my Renaissance grandmother. She was just on the Woot Woot show. I couldn't watch all of it, but I watched a lot, and I didn't know she had a product line. So I'm asking one of my moderators to please put up the link to actually two links. You can put up the link to Best Yet Journey's Woot Woot show and also the link to my Renaissance grandmother's Etsy store. And you see, this is that type of person I am. Even though she's making and selling some of the same products that I make, I still want you all to check her out. I still want you to support her, especially small businesses. And I almost say small black businesses, but I don't want to, just say that's the only business I support, because I support a lot of businesses. But I really admire small businesses and female businesses because of what I've done and accomplished, and I know it's a lot of hard work. So thank you, Grandmama Groves, for doing that. And this is why I share as much as I do for a minimum fee of $9.99 a month. And you all know I don't even get all of that because YouTube gets their part. I share everything I know about making natural products, whether it's natural or organic, because it's something that a lot of people can make and also make a living or extra income from it. I'm not going to be able to do it forever. And I want everybody to be able to get off of a lot of things that you would normally buy. You can make for yourself, or you can heal or help heal a condition. For example, eczema, or just real dry skin. How to make a product that will moisturize someone's hair if they inherited extremely dry hair. There's a lot of things you can do, and if you join that group, make your own products, and you want to continue to allow me to share the knowledge that I have obtained, feel free to join. Okay, those classes are going to be over Zoom until the last of this year, and then they will be private live videos on YouTube. Okay? And the good thing about it, and I saw Growing with Hudson's name up there, is, and thank you for being here, is once you have taken all the classes that you want to take, you can reduce your Perk Club membership or leave altogether. There's no hard feelings. I don't hold grudges. Once you get what you came for, then you can demote down to a lower grade Perk group, or you can stay if I learn other information that I can pass on to you. Okay? No hard feelings. So I haven't reviewed the Perk Club memberships in a long time, so let me do it very quickly. The first tier is called Grow Your Own with Lady Cheryl, okay? And you get to shout out your YouTube channel or your gardening zone every week on here, and I'm getting ready to ask for it in a minute, so get that information ready for me, guys. And you can also, once a month, you can put up a little message saying how long you've been in the Perk Club. And that is $2.99 a month. And for $3.99 a month, or is it $4.99? It is $4.99, I'm sorry. You can join the Eat Your Own Club. Now, pretty soon, I told you that this is my daughter's craft area, and she's going to be moving all of that. And pretty soon, behind me, you're going to start seeing a lot of the food that I can, food that I dehydrate. I'll share in other videos and other Monday night chats food that I freeze and the procedures. And you learn that in your Eat Your Own Perk group. That club is $4.99 a month, and you have one preservation class free that you can attend. And the top tier is Make Your Own Products with Lady Cheryl. It's $9.99 a month. That's the one that I told you we had the class on Sunday. I went back from the very beginning and showed them how to start their company, establish their brand, logo, website, DBA, designated business name, LLC, so you can incorporate your business, how to obtain product liability insurance so that if something goes wrong or if someone just tries for the hell of it to try to hurt you, that they can't sue you and get your own personal assets, and you will have insurance that would handle that. And I also brought to the students that were in, or the participants in that group, that I've never been sued. And this is not boasting or bragging. It is because I always protect myself. And then I share with them how to get labels, the best people to host websites. Because I've been hosting websites. My website been hosted for over 20-something years, so I know a little bit about it and which companies are shady and which ones to stay away from. And the only reason I'm going into this is to let you know that I paid thousands of dollars to obtain this information, this knowledge, and I pass it on for $9.99 a month. I don't get $9.99 a month. YouTube gets their part, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that because they are allowing us to have this platform to do this. Okay, so those classes, like I said, are over Zoom. And if you're on a PC tonight, and if you look at the bottom of the chat, you will see a blue square box with a $sign. You can click on that, and you can join. Or you could click on the links that my beautiful moderators have put up in the chat. So far, I have mentioned the Etsy. It's an Etsy or eBay store for My Renaissance Grandma. And I've asked you to put up Lydia from Best Yet Journey, a link to her channel, so you can catch her every Monday night. She comes on around 5 o'clock Central Time, but if you check it out, it'll tell you what time it is for your zone, okay? So now, at this time, this time I see that J3GS Farms is in the house, and somebody else flashed across there. I might have missed it, but I'm sure that my folks have taken care of speaking with you. Okay, so Maria Graham, thank you for being here. So now what I want to do, I want to keep this all together because I publish my live chats after every live that I do. Sometimes it takes about an hour or two for it to, to catch up to the live replay. But if you're watching this replay and you have a question, leave it in the comments. If you are watching this and you couldn't comment live, that is because I have it set where only subscribers can comment. And since I've done that, I haven't had any people advertising pornography or trolling and saying little nasty, unchristian things. Okay, so now I want everybody that has, hey, pescatarian gardener, everybody that has a blue wrench by their name, and everybody that has one of my emojis, like the pearls or the hibiscus. Now is the time for you to put in your YouTube channel, a link. Or if you don't have a YouTube channel, you can just say what zone you're in. Hey, Lorraine. Good to see you. What zone you're in, and maybe somebody want to hook up with you later and have some questions, and maybe you all can be like garden buddies. Or if you have a Facebook group or a TikTok or Instagram, you can put either one of those up, but only one, okay? And if you don't have a wrench or emoji by your name, please don't put in your YouTube channel. This is the way I run my channel, and I allow you to do it if you are a member or a moderator. So don't get offended. This is the way I've been doing it for several years. I've been doing this live chat every Monday night for over 2 years. And you can count on a couple of fingers how many that I've missed because of either exhaustion or vacation. Okay? Hey, Oldham's Homestead. I've been enjoying your videos. Sleepless in the Carolinas. Thank you. And New City Gardener. Thank you for being here. We appreciate all of you. So now, once you get your thinking caps on, I'm going to ask you some questions. And whoever is the first person to answer them, I'm going to send you some seeds. And they're going to be nice seeds. And by the way, those of you that are in my groups that I mentioned, if you want seeds, you're supposed to email me and let me know. Now, normally I'm trying to get them out on the 15th, but I've been moving. So I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sending any seeds this month. But I'm going to do a double order around the 1st of September, the first week in September. I'm going to send you your seeds for July and for September. And if any of you win seeds tonight, yours will go out the first week in September too. Okay, you all, excuse me for yelling. I'm going to have to get one of my grandkids in here to get me an ink pen. Excuse me, Brian. Ask your mom and dad for an ink pen, okay? So I can write this down. Angela's Canvas Delight, thank you for being here. Okay, so do we have all of the websites? Okay, we still putting them in. Zone 4 Minnesota, and we've got At Home with Cherie. Those of you, if you live in a cold climate, honey, if you don't check out At Home with Cherie, you're missing out. Because this lady is doing incredible things. She has a very low or short growing season. And she is growing a phenomenal amount of food. Incredible harvest. If she can't inspire you to grow some food, baby, I don't know what will. And I want to shout out somebody. She's probably not in the chat. I think she may be working, but she always watches the replay. And I'm going to ask Grandmama Groves to put this channel up. Because I posted her video on the community board. And that person is, I think it's Gardening with Miss Renee or Renee's Garden. You all know who she is. Put her channel up for me, please, moderators. Because she had a short video where she went into this store. And I'm not going to tell you what type of mart it was. You know. And they had some meat that was... Hey, Brenda Allen. That looked downright nasty. That looked like it had been left out. And had the audacity to charge a high price on it. And this same mart... I commented on that video that I had read and saw something on TV where they had bought an excessive amount, thank you, Grandmama Gross, an excessive amount of food, hoping that us, the consumers, will panic and buy a lot of food unnecessarily. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't prep. I'm not saying buying and storing up a lot of food is something you shouldn't do. I'm saying that you should, but you have to be conscientious of expiration dates. So now this company, I can't even get it right. Y'all saw it. That mart is going to have to do major reductions in prices to get rid of this food that's getting ready to expire. Mm-hmm. See, so a lot of times people will say and do things to get a lot of views on their channels and get you to panic and to buy stuff that you really don't need or won't be viable for a very long time. Now, there are shortages and there is inflation. Everybody shop sensibly. Okay? Grandmama Grow says, right. Expiration date should be checked before you buy it, before you put it in your buggy. And they're not the only ones, there's some other ones. So you want to prep and you want to be prepared, but don't buy stuff that is not going to be good for your family in the long term, especially if that's what you're doing. My motto is don't panic, prep. This is why we grow. This is why we're here, to learn how to grow and help one another. This is why I say put your channels up, put your zone up, so that if somebody lives close to you, they will be able to contact you, because you can click on that link and communicate with them. And almost every content creator that I know, they have their email address inside the description of their videos. So you'll know how to contact them. Or you could click on any one of their videos and leave a comment. I need your help. I admire what you're doing. Even if they say something you don't like. Even if they're knowledgeable and you just don't like them because you just don't like them. Learn from them anyway. Don't let one person think they can save you. That you only need to watch their channel and no one else's. That's why I can shout out my Renaissance grandmother, even though she's selling a whip butter and a hair oil, and I do too. It doesn't matter, because it's enough out there for everybody. And this, what we have to do more is help one another. Now, I was thinking about something today because I was talking to my younger siblings, my only sister and my younger brother. I had 5 brothers. I only have 2 surviving brothers now. And we are very close. And you saw us in my little short video when we went to Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. We were on our scooters. And it's like, it's amazing that we are all senior citizens, and we remember going down the block and on the incline and incline and downcline, going around the block skating on our outside skates. And children can't even do that today because they can get snatched. My grandchildren don't go out and play in the streets like we did and ran back home when the street lights came on, or before, because you were in trouble if you didn't, right? Hey, Osnat Homesteader, thank you for being here. And this is a story I want to share with you. And I'm going to warn you, it may be a little sensitive to some people, because I touched on it last week when I told you we moved into the neighborhood where I'm getting my investment property, I should say, rental property, my home. This is what I'm doing. I moved here with my daughter and son-in-law. And I told you about 31 years ago, there weren't any black people in that community. We were the first family. And I shared with you how the neighbors wanted to know what we did for a living, and my crazy husband, bless his soul, he said, if that one more person asks me again what I do for a living, I'm going to tell them I'm a street pharmaceutical salesman, drug dealer. And he was just kidding. But my heart was beating fast because another couple was coming up, and I thought he was going to act a fool, but he didn't. Because you would have to know him to know that he was a very charismatic, humorous person. But there were a lot of ups and downs for us, being the only black family in that community. And after a while, we were welcomed with open arms because they saw that we were an asset to the community. And I told you how he used to take the fireplace ashes and, yeah, I don't want to repeat myself. But here's another story that didn't end really well. My children were in elementary school, and they used to play with this Caucasian boy on the next street. And when they all went to junior high, and this is a pearl from Cheryl, and the pearl is never judge a book by its cover. So they were all good friends, and they would play and blah, 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 blah. And then when they finally got to junior high, the boy, and I almost called out his name, and you know I don't like to call out names, told them one day that he couldn't play with them anymore because his parents said they couldn't play with little black boys. My children were devastated, but it's okay because we taught them, my husband and I, that they had each other. And if nobody else would play with them, they could always play together. So about 2 years ago, my son was coming down the alley to come to my house, and he was driving down the alley, and somebody started backing out, and they, boom, T-boned him like this, coming out of their driveway down the alley. And my son called me on the phone. He said, Mom, I'm in the alley. I just had a wreck. Nobody's hurt, but I need you to come down here and bring your cell phone. I just called 911 because your neighbor won't give me his driver's license, and he's insisting that I'm at fault, and I'm just driving down the alley, and he backed into me. I said, I'll be right there. Man, tell you, it's two things you don't play with: my money and my kids. And I ran down that alley with my cell phone. And I said, what do you mean you're not gonna give your driver's license? Okay, you called 911? He said he did. I called 911 again, told me it's an emergency, but it really wasn't an emergency. So some of the neighbors across the alley started coming out because I got a little loud. I didn't curse. I didn't use any profanity. I just got loud. You don't mess with my kids. Remember that, my money and my kids. So one of the neighbors came over, and he looked at my son, and he said, Andre, is that you? Well, when Andre was told by his son that he couldn't play with him anymore, Andre was a little bitty boy, like about the 3rd grade, something like that. Andre is now 250 pounds, 6'4". Very intimidating, because even that neighbor that didn't want to get his driver's license was shaking, okay? And so my son said, yes, sir, I'm Andre. Well, Andre, what are you doing now? He said, I own a barber shop. I'm a master barber. I've been in business for myself about 8 years at that time. He said, well, that's really good. And he said, what about your brother? And I spoke up, and I said, Trey's doing well. He has some health issues, but he is a coach, and he teaches junior high school. And he said, oh, okay. And I said, are you Seth's dad? Because I thought it was. Oh, God, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say the name. I said, are you the dad of the boy that Mike Simmons used to play with? And he said, yes. I said, oh, okay, so how's he doing? He said, I got to be careful because I said the name, and I don't know what neighbor is watching this. He said, put it this way, I started hanging around he started hanging around the wrong crowd, and he was murdered. And I said, oh my God, I am so sorry. But as I was walking back home, I started thinking, this is why, we gotta take a breath. This is why you should never judge a book by its cover. Because my son, he thought was going to be a stereotype, and they were the good dudes. And maybe if he had allowed his son to continue the friendship that they had started, on to from elementary to junior high to high school, who knows? Maybe the young man would still be alive today. But my heart went out to him, the father, because he lost his son. And I know I would have been devastated. And so I told him I hugged him. I told him I was very sorry to hear that, and blah, 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 blah. But the moral of the story is, don't prejudge people. You never know what will happen. Don't judge a book by its cover. And Dale, that's right. Look on the inside. That's right, Andale. That's right. You got to know what's in somebody's heart. You cannot judge them. And my sons never ran around with saggy pants and thug lingo because my husband wouldn't go for it. He was very strict and very disciplinarian. So they didn't look a certain way. And that's why you assume that. No, sir. You judge them by the color of their skin instead of the context of their character and their heart. Okay, I hope I helped somebody today with my Pearl from Cheryl. It's a segment that I'm going to be bringing to you every week unless I don't have one to bring you. So now I am going to, man, isn't that the same thing that happened to me as a child? Such a failure story. Yes, that's right. Look on the inside. Amen. Hey, La, I love your name. Yes, God never sees the color. Thank you, Kathy. Okay, so where was I? Oh, I'm going to start these questions. I'm going to give away seeds. And I'm going to ask a few questions. Well, Bria was supposed to bring me a pen. They forgot. Okay, so what I want is Grandmama Grows. You're welcome. Thanks for sharing that, Pearl. Common scenarios, unfortunately, and Antia said. Grandmama Grows, I'd like for you to post the winner. Winner in all caps. Okay? Now I'm going to tell y'all what I'm getting ready to do. In every video, I'm going to have some bonus footage. And every week, I'm going to ask you questions about the bonus footage. And the bonus footage, to watch somebody steal my idea, won't always be at the end. It may be in the beginning, it may be in the middle, it may be in the end. So this week, and y'all get ready, because I want you to type in the answer. Who was the main character? Question number 1. And that's what you're going to do. Grandmama Grows, the winner for question number 1. Put it in the chat, because I don't have a pen. And this PC I'm working on is not a real good one. Who is the main character in the chat? Right in the chat, the main character with the bonus footage. Whoever answers it first will get it. Grandmama Grove says she's ready. Thank you. Anybody who is the main character in my bonus footage in my last video? Barb Brownlee is the winner. And so you're going to highlight that Grandmama Grows. And it's right, she put, we don't care about the start, Andale, for this one. Brownlee got it. Bria. So Grandmama Grows in all caps, winner number 1, Barb Brownlee. Somebody says it's buffering. It's not buffering here, so it'll happen. Okay, my next question was, what was she doing? Nobody answered. Susie Polidor is the winner. She was doing cartwheels. All caps, Grandmama Grows, winner number 2, Susie Polidor, cartwheels. And thank you all for giving them a hand. Barb Brownlee is the first one. I'll go back and look at the chat and I'll get the answers. And Susie Polidor is the second one. I'm waiting for get very good. Winner number 2. Now, you can start now. This is the third and final question. How many cartwheels did she do in a row? Which was Bria. How many cartwheels did Bria do in a row? Allsnap Homesteader said 10. Cheryl Faulkner said 4. Maria said 5. Lorraine said 4. New Jack City Gardner said 2. Grandma McGrove said 2. And yes, moderators can play. Hey, God's Gift in Gardening. Living Miracle Homestead said 3. Growing Progress said 3. I'm going to give 10 seconds and then I am going to stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And Mike, that's just what you said when you commented. You said all them clips make me dizzy. And I'm going to tell you guys, no one got it. The answer was 8. And then I think Brian and I shouted out, woohoo, you did 8, Bria. So pay attention to the bonus footage every week. And you can win some seeds. And I'm going to double it'll be almost like a whole package of seeds. So don't think it's going to be just a few seeds I'm going to sprinkle to you. Okay, so that's it, guys. God Gift to Gardening answered 7 or 8, but it was too late, and you could only answer 1. So I'm sorry you didn't win. Oh, that was Cherie said 7 or 8. Yeah. Okay, guys, that's it, Grandmama Groves. The winner is 8, and nobody won. Is that right? Yeah, nobody won. Yeah, she goes to gymnastics every Friday. So now what does that tell you? Nobody answered that question. So next Monday night, it just may be repeated. God's Gift in Gardening said, I'm late, I missed the question. I'm going to say it really quickly. I'm going to start doing seeds giveaway every week, Monday night. The questions to win these seeds will be based upon bonus footage in my videos the previous week or the week of. It'll be the previous week. And the bonus footage can appear in the beginning, in the middle, or the end. You never know, but it's going to say bonus footage. Study it closely because that's where the question is going to come from. I came up with this brainstorm, and I was telling Miss Beverly on the phone, and she said, that kind of reminds me of Regis and Kelly before Regis died or left the show. They would ask you, the audience, when they called in, a question about the previous show. And I said, I didn't think of that, but I just knew I was going to do something with the bonus footage. And they may say bonus blooper, but I'll probably still say bonus footage. And then that way everybody will win. So there are 2 winners tonight, and I have them documented. Winner number 1 is Barb Brownlee. Winner number 2 is Susie Polidor. I think I have both of your addresses in my system. I'll send you some seeds. And remember, these seeds are going to go out the first week in September because I got a lot of major projects lined up about my moving here and stuff. Okay? And I want to thank you all. So right now we have 63 people watching, 54 people hit the like button. I'm going to ask that you share this video. And I don't know if this is legal or not. So I better check with I'm going to say eBay, with YouTube first before I announce another thing I have up my sleeve. Okay, so it is 7:51. I'm going to talk about 5 minutes about this topic because I've gotten a lot of emails about them. And actually, it's 2 topics, it's 2 particular flowers. The first one is Texas Red Star Hibiscus. People have been emailing me wanting to know, can they use the leaves? And the answer to the question is no. It's just the petals of the flowers that you can steep and make tea that can lower your blood pressure. Keyword can. You can't eat a whole lot of salt and pork and drink a lot of alcohol and then drink a glass of hibiscus tea and think that's going to lower your blood pressure. It's a combination of a healthy lifestyle with low fats, low sodium. You all feel me? So I don't want anybody to think they can just make this tea and get off your blood pressure medication. Don't do that. You must continue to take the medication your physician prescribed, and this tea will lower your blood pressure. There have been a lot of studies, you can Google it, in conjunction with a healthy lifestyle, and that is sleeping, eating, and exercising correctly. Okay? But it does work. I share with you my blood work and everything last Monday night. And I didn't pull any punches, and I didn't try to hide anything from you. I did admit to you that my kidney function went down some. But everything else, the numbers went down, and that was good. Kidney function going down is not good. But it's hereditary. Oh, okay. Girl Hudson says it's 63:59 watching. We almost there. Okay, come on out the attic, guys. Come on out the bleachers. We need your support. We got to stimulate that algorithm with YouTube, because a lot of people are not getting my notifications or reminders about my videos. So my viewership, I need to get it back up. And I agree with everybody. It has something to do with me changing my name. Okay? So, the tea can be steeped with a fresh flower, but think about it this way. Excuse me. Think about it this way. If you dehydrate tea and you fill up your little ball or whatever you're using to immerse your tea in your hot water, you will get more if the leaves are dehydrated. So if the question was, I got several questions. Can you use the tea with fresh flowers, or do they have to be dehydrated? The answer to the question, Mike, and you're right, it makes sense. Yes, you can make it fresh, but you would need to put more leaves in the tea. And it gives it a good, rich flavor. The other thing, question I get a lot about that is, will it come back in my zone? And it depends on your zone. I can tell you I'm in 8A. Mine come back every year. And we had a freeze of 3 degrees on February 3rd, 2020. So that put me in a much colder garden zone, but it still came back. The only problem, it's not really a problem, they are pest resistant, they'll grow in any type of soil, they don't need a lot of water, so they are drought resistant. The only issue that I've had with Texas Star Hibiscus is this. Once it gets over 105 degrees, they will stop blooming. But they will resume blooming when the temperature lowers. So, Juicing with Jay, thank you for being here. I will show you in my next video some pictures of my red Texas Star Hibiscus starting to bloom rigorously now that the temperatures are in the low 90s. Okay, just like I did a week or so ago, I shared with you my Mexican petunias are blooming all over the place now that the temperature has dropped. Okay, and then the other question was, and this was kind of a negative email, but it may be just the way that I received the email. And I try not to read too much into negativity, because you can't survive cancer for 30 years if you get all uptight and anxious and be around a bunch of negative stuff. Like I have. I had breast cancer in 1992. And I've been cancer-free since 1992. This is 2022. October, it'll be 30 years. Praise the Lord. So I reread a question to make sure it's not me being negative and jumping to the wrong conclusion. And this one I read a couple of times, and it's about the moonflowers. Now, I shared in the video that they can be poisonous. Am I right? Who saw the video? And I said they're beautiful, they're iridescent, they're named Datura. On my seed package it said Moonflowers Bush. I bought the seeds probably 8, maybe 9 years ago. Before I retired. And I shared that it can give you anxiety attack, hallucinations, diarrhea, elevated blood pressure, uh, seizures. But I also shared that they attract a lot of bees. It was bees swarming all over it. And it's really beautiful. So someone had the audacity to email me, ask me why would I grow that if they can be harmful. I did, Miss Cheryl, beautiful flowers. Thank you, Kim, Stage 52. Well, where I live, there is a city ordinance about pets roaming freely. You're supposed to walk your dog or your cat. Now, you don't have to have the cat on the leash, but you're supposed to walk your dog on the leash. And you're supposed to have that little baggie in your hand to pick it up the poop if it poops. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Yes, ma'am. Was excited about them. Coffin Creations. Thank you, dear. Well, the email said it was a sin for me to have that flower growing. I don't want to exaggerate because it's kind of funny. And I'm laughing because of my response through the email. Now, a lot of email I just delete. I don't even respond if I don't even, want to even go there. But I let them know that you're supposed to, where I live, there's a HOA and there is a city ordinance that all dogs have to be on the leash. And we're not supposed to have feral cats running around. Right? So it's not my responsibility to make sure that an animal doesn't eat that flower and die. Now, mind you, I just told you all that I had grew those seeds before I retired. I retired at 60 for medical reasons. I'm 68 now. I've never had anybody in the neighborhood to complain about the flower, saying I think my dog ate the flower. Somebody's talking about a hummingbird. Let me get it. So my response was, guys, nobody has been sick. No dog or no pets or nobody, until a sin for me to grow the flower. Okay, I bought a yellow and orange hibiscus reduced at Lowe's this week ago, and they are blooming. Great. And Lorraine said, I just read that hummingbirds love Datura moonflowers. They do, and they love that red Texas star hibiscus. But I haven't been able to. I felt for James Franklin and is it 38 things or 28 things, CHANGS, because he was trying to catch his hummingbird one morning. And I'm doing that too. And every time I try to get it, I can't capture it. But they do come to my Datura and moonflowers and my red Texas star hibiscus. But the only thing about hummingbirds is this: you've got to have your feeders or whatever they're attracted to in a place where they are a little sheltered so that prey won't come and swoop them up. And that's what they are real nervous about. So if you ever see anybody with those hummingbird feeders, and I have a couple of them, they'll have them where there's an overhang or something, but just not way out in the open so that the hummingbird will feel free to partake in the sugar water. And by the way, while I'm on that subject, those little packages that you get at the dollar store with the red dye in it for the hummingbirds, it's not good for the hummingbirds. It can kill them. The best thing to do is to Google it and just put sugar and water in your hummingbird feeders. Okay. So Hoyt, that was a real good deal to catch something. I occasionally do that, and Marianne Owen says she saw the Moonflower video. I just spotted some Jamaican sorrel seeds, 3 out of 6. I can't wait for them to grow. They grow very, very fast. And it's a sin to grow a flower. Yeah, I know. That's what I was laughing about before I can even get the story out. Thank you, Lala. Grapes are toxic to dogs, but no one expects a garden not to grow grapes. Yes, I saw a video this week. Can't remember who it was, and they were saying they gotta make sure the dog can't get no grapes. So there are a lot of things that are toxic to pets. But God created these beautiful things, and if He blessed me with the ability to grow them, I'm going to grow them. It's your job to protect your pet, not me. It's your job. Your dog shouldn't be roaming freely all around in my yard anyway. It should be on the leash. That might sound a little harsh. I'm sorry. It is what it is. My flowers are beautiful. If anyone's animal ate them, what is the owner doing on your... That's it. That's it. I'm trying to think of your name. Living Miracle Homestead, Catherine. Kathy. That's right. What are they doing in there? And Lord have mercy. Where I'm going to put them this year is... well, next year, I'm germinating some seeds now. You'll see in the video. It was already in the video. It takes up to... It can take... from 1 week to 8 weeks. And some writers say it could take from 5 days to 30 days to germinate the moonflower seeds or the datura. And then there's the vining type that's in the same family of the morning glories. Okay? That'll grow up on a vine and in an arch. Same thing. They're poisonous too. I'm pretty sure. I may be mistaken. Okay. Okay, somebody was saying, yes, Sleepless in Carolina, the dog shouldn't be on your property. And Miss Ellen says she makes her own hummingbird nectar. And it's just sugar and water, guys. Hi, Miss Ellen. And Miss Ellen. And yeah. We can put that red dye in those cheap hummingbird feeders. I shouldn't say that cheap. But that's where it comes in with them little kits at the dollar store. And think you feeding the hummingbirds and you killing them. But you worry about my flowers. So there are a lot of things that dogs and cats are not supposed to eat, as the person said about the grapes. It is very, very true. But I'm going to grow my flowers. In fact, when I went to the house today, I took a beautiful picture of it with no blooms. But it was so many blooms getting ready to open that I took that picture, and then tomorrow after it rains, because we're supposed to have a high chance of rain tomorrow, then I will go and take a picture of all those blooms that opened. It looks so pretty. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. It is your neighbor's responsibility to keep their dogs on a leash or off your property. And if you have a dog running around, you may want to talk to your neighbor and tell them these are poisonous. And there's nothing wrong with that. I haven't had to, because I haven't had dogs on my property. They're real strict. And they have like a neighborhood watch person who reports everything. Which I'm excited about, because I haven't had that problem. But I have had an issue with feral cats coming into my yard. And they, by the way, the person that mentioned grapes about the dogs, cats love grapes. Yeah, they love to eat your grapes. And somebody saying they have their feeders up real high. Very good. Okay, I am ready to answer your questions. It's 8:06. I try to be gone by 8:15. I don't like these real long lives. That's just me. I want to get to the meat and potatoes of what we're here to talk about, help each other in gardening, and then let you go. And if you have a topic that you would like for me to research it if I don't know the answer, and then I will come back with you in the coming weeks with that question. Okay, it's looking good on my end. 65 people watching, 66 people watching. Just changed it. 66 thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now Grandmama Grows and Auntia put the emojis up for you guys to answer questions. If people are wild, you handled that well. Thank you, Cherie. Shaking my head, she says. Any questions about what you're doing? While I'm waiting for you to type something, get those seeds started. Because the colder it gets, the slower they're going to grow. Okay? So you got to get a good start on them. I'm going to show you in the new video that I took some of mine out of the peat pellets and put them in biodegradable, little small, let me see if I can get one. These little pots. There's 40 of them. And they are biodegradable, and you get 40 of them in a set for $3. Bria and I just went in the Family Dollar store Saturday, and I said, let's go in here, Bria, and see if they have anything on sale. Because they used to have a lot of garden supplies the last of August on sale. So these will easily separate. You can just come in here with a knife and cut it through here, and then you put the whole thing in the ground. Now, this is made with natural fiber, but I do have some that are made out of cow manure. They're called cow pots, and I share them with you all in the video. I have a lot of them, but I'm saving them for my spring garden. Okay? Hey, Fresh Starts. Thank you for being here. Okay, let me see if I got a question. So yeah, these were 40 of them for $1.50. They were half off. So, you know, I'm trying to be extra neat at my daughter's house. I told you all, she's OCD-ish. And they have everything is real light color, and you know, I don't want to be doing stuff inside and causing a problem. So today, Brian and Bria and I went out and we took the peat pellets and we put just a little potting mix. Because see, after they get the second set of leaves, the peat pellets don't have any nutrition. So once your seeds get the second set of leaves, because all of the nutrition that they need is in the seed itself. But once they get that second and third, and some of them have fourth set of leaves, I need to feed them. So I put just a little potting mix at the bottom of here and put that peat pellet in there. So those roots will start taking up some of the nutrition from the potting mix. And I didn't even buy new potting mix. Since I'm not moving everything. And I have a couple wheelbarrows that have homemade compost and potty mix in it, and I just went over there this morning and took a crate and put a black garbage bag over it and shoveled some of it up and put it into the bag inside of the crate and looked through it while I was doing it to make sure it wasn't no big wood chips or any type of worms that weren't earthworms. Okay? All right. So check out your local Dollar General to see if you can catch you some sales. Now, I'll tell you, before the pandemic, I used to get seeds in packages for 2 cents a package. I know you, those of you like Best Yet, been with me for a long time, you all remember that. But now people are going back to gardening. More YouTube channels are popping up. Hey, Veggie Farm Garden, you've been busy but listening, that's good. So then you couldn't find anything on sale. But now they're going back to you could find things on clearance, especially Lowe's. And that's where I'm going in the next few days to see if I can find, and I told you guys before, cabbage, and I'm growing some Chinese cabbage. But I'm going to try to find Savoy cabbage, cauliflower, and broccoli. And everything else I'm starting from seeds. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's see if we got a question. I'm looking for all of the questions. I don't think I have any. Sometimes there are not enough people for, there's not enough for people, oh, not enough for people to do. There are so many things IB are environment that are questionable. It's up to you to get the knowledge about your environment. Very good. Thank you, Miss Washington. Sandra living a good life. Somebody else said they're buffering again. It's not buffering here, Kathy. Oh, okay. Aunt Tia said she used those pots to start some peas for the spring. They did okay. They did okay. Did not. Did not realize there were cow pots. Yes. You know, I used some of the cow pots. I had rooted my tomato plants in water. The tomato basket plant that did real well in the greenhouse. And I rooted them in water and I put them in the greenhouse and they died when it got 109 degrees. They just couldn't handle it. Even in the greenhouse, it was still 100 and they just couldn't survive. So, but I'm saving them and I'm going to use the cow pots. Now, these are not made out of cow manure. They are biodegradable, but they're not made out of cow manure. And I'm going to see, because I soaked them, if I see that those roots are not coming through here rigorously, I'm going to take my little carpenter tool, a little knife, and I'm going to cut this out. And then I'm still going to separate this and put it in the ground. Okay? But if I see those roots are not coming in by the third week in September when I move my boxes over here, then I'm gonna do what I gotta do. If I have to take it out. Somebody just said, that's Miss Ellen, says she planted her fall broccoli, collards, lettuces today. First frost is 10/22. And they'll probably be okay with the first frost. What you planted, Miss Ellen, I think you did a great thing. I have an abundance of candela. Shall I just try the blooms like I do chamomile? Oh, dry the blooms. Yes, 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 ma'am. Transferred red mustards, collards, tatsoi, and my red beds. Hoyt Robinson. Very good. Okay, look like there aren't any questions. Did I miss one, guys? Nope, I didn't miss anything. It's 8:15. You guys know I love you. I appreciate you being here. Growing with Hudson already telling you, have a blessed rest of the week, and we'll see you back here Monday. And I'll probably try to put out a video either tomorrow morning or the next day. Okay? All right. You know I love you. Good night, everybody. God loves you too. And don't forget, if you got a topic of the discussion, if you want me to answer, I'll do my best. If I don't know the answer, I'll research and direct you to where you can get it. Okay, good night, Mike. Good night, Bessia Journey. Good night, Lorene T. Good night, Grandmama Groves. Good night, Mike. Good night, Kathy from Living Miracle Homestead. Good night, Auntie's Backyard Garden. Good night, Sleepless in the Carolinas. Good night, Bar Brownlee. Good night, Veggie Farm. If I miss somebody, you know it goes by fast. Good night, Fresh Starts. Good night. Okay, Miss Ellen's new name is Q something. G Quats. Gardening, quilts, and something traditions. Okay, art, I believe it is. Good night, Susie Politer. Good night, Pescatarian Gardener. Thank you so much, guys. Good night. Good night.